These folks in the Circle City, they love their Colts, and they have packed the house tonight as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Indianapolis Colts. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Again, it's Taylor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. The Colts at 6-10 on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Cameron. This is caught by Williams. And in for the Lions touchdown. Jamison Williams, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Lions use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups.
And the ball is free. Taylor lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the 2nd drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
First down, here's White. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Shreds him with a stiff arm. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put him in a spot
where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. White is in for a Lions touchdown. So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for 2nd place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits one behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people in the NFL.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense is playing well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And, CD, you look at this defense, you know, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
White now on the read option. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go with White on the counter. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although
Like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
So roughing the passer there, a big mistake defensively.
Yeah, and even though you've got a quarterback out of the pocket and the rules change downfield, that doesn't mean the same rules don't apply with the QB. Anything more than one step, they're going to throw a flag on you every time.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw.
Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll buy some time right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Colts get a bit closer. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Josh Allen, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just prove to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
On the move past the 40, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
They run straight ahead here with White. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 64 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll go up the middle with White. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Bobby Okereke making that tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw on 2nd down. Cameron, flush to his right. And that's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Cameron. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Let's go.
They'll run for it. This is White. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. White is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Back to throw. He sets to fire deep. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A gain of 3, second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, they'll run with White. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Back to throw. Cameron able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
First down, Lions.
He's going to try and do this himself.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
Oh, and now some space to operate. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
115 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. And I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
Here's White.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Zamir White on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And a rout is on here in this first half. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And he's got room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll set up a throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Aiden Hutchinson
In there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They find some open field here. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
Garabay's kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Fields it right around the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone, because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Cameron. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush, because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. Finding space at the 40.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. They only only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. Garibay's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A run to begin the second half with White. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
2nd and 13. Man open downfield, it's Metcalf. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl A 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on third. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They're going to try and throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Option play. Here's White. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Zamir White. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Colts take over first and 10. At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think, yeah.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And the Lions will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. On a handoff, it's White. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Well, 193 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. White, he'll try the left side. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On third down, a run from White. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Looking to throw. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point up and good by Garibay as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
But 209 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Going with White here, toss left. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited until the fourth quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. They keep it on the ground. White again. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
White now on the read option.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I would run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got him in, complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back to throw again. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll look to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. And the Lions are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
CD, this defensive effort, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. So this offense, which was humming all game, ends on a negative play. We didn't see many of those as he takes the knee.